The incredible story of Christian the lion. This isn't a story about a lion in the jungle. This is a story about love, friendship, and a lion named Christian who changed hearts around the world. Get ready to hear the amazing true story of Christian the lion. In 1969, two friends named John Rendell and Anthony Burke walked into a London department store. They found something very unusual on display: a tiny lion cub for sale. Fun fact, back then, wild animals were sometimes sold in stores. That's not allowed anymore. John and Anthony felt sorry for the cub. He looked lonely, so they bought him, named him Christian, and took him home. Yes, Christian the lion lived in an apartment in the middle of London. Life in London, Christian was kind, gentle, and full of energy. He loved playing in the garden, meeting new people, and even going on road trips. He became a local celebrity. Everyone wanted to meet the lion who lived in the city. But Christian was growing fast. He wasn't a little cub anymore. Even though he was friendly, he was still a wild animal with wild instincts. John and Anthony knew it wasn't safe or fair to keep him in the city forever. They made a brave decision to send Christian to Africa, where he could live free. With help from wildlife expert George Adamson, Christian was flown to Kenya. There, he would be trained to live in the wild. It wasn't easy, but Christian learned. He made new lion friends and slowly became wild again. Fun fact: he even became the leader of his own pride. A year later, John and Anthony returned to Africa. They missed Christian, but no one knew if he would remember them. Then, something magical happened. Christian saw them pause, then ran toward them with joy. He remembered. And not just remembered, he showed love like no one had ever seen from a lion. Christian had returned to the wild, but his heart never forgot his friends. It was one of the most beautiful reunions in history. After that moment, John and Anthony said goodbye. Christian stayed in the wild, living freely with his lion family. Years later, their story went viral on the internet. Millions of people watched Christian's reunion and cried with joy. Christian's story reminds us that love knows no bounds, even between humans and wild animals. But it also reminds us that wild animals belong in the wild. John and Anthony never kept another wild animal as a pet. Instead, they became voices for wildlife conservation, helping animals live freely and safely. Christian the lion, a story of friendship, freedom, and love. Thanks for watching. If you believe in love, kindness, and protecting wild animals, this story is for you. Don't forget to like, share, and roar for wildlife.